Welcome back. I'm Bill. I'd like to try something new, so give me some feedback in the comments if you like this or if you don't. After the short video I made earlier this summer showing my setup at the China Beach Campground down on southern Vancouver Island, some of you suggested I should make some short videos showing the campgrounds that I visit. So here goes. Let's start with the place we were just at last week. Join me at Loveland Bay Provincial Park. The park lies at the north end of Loveland Bay on Campbell Lake, or Campbell Reservoir as it's sometimes known, on northern Vancouver Island. It's about 25 kilometers west of the city of Campbell River at the junction of Brewster Lake Forest Service Road and Lower Campbell Lake Forest Service Road. Now, this park was formerly a forestry site and then it became a provincial park in 1984. It is administered by BC Parks. The park originally consisted of 28 sites all along the waterfront, but then as part of its major investment in park expansion, BC Parks made a major improvement to Loveland Bay in 2020 and 2021. So when they opened in 2022, they'd added an additional 22 sites inland from the waterfront. Waterfront sites obviously go quickly when reservations open, but the inland sites are beautiful as well and are just a short walk from the water. My wife and I stayed in one last week. So here are some examples of waterfront sites in the park. And here's an example of the inland sites. All of them have wonderful views of the lake, some directly at the water level, some from up above. I should note that there are 10 double sites, which account for 20 of the 50 sites that are there. So not quite half of them. These are a good option if you've got, say, two families that want to camp together in one spot. But you need to remember that you can't reserve one of the two sites alone. If it's a double site, you have to reserve both those sites together. Additionally, there are two nice group campgrounds, one at either end of the campground itself, one at the end of the north loop, one at the end of the south loop, and at the end or just inside the end of the north loop, there's a cluster of 3 walk-in tenting sites that look really nice. The entire campground is nestled in a forest of Douglas fir and western red cedar and hemlock. The undergrowth is almost exclusively ferns, salal, and huckleberries, so in the summer there's no need to go hungry. When I was here most recently in August, the kids had mostly picked over the huckleberries, but the salal berries were plentiful and they were actually pretty tasty. What's there to do at Loveland Bay? Well, the park has a great sandy beach. The water is a great temperature for lake swimming in summer on Vancouver Island. There's a dock with space to tie up your boat, although it seems a lot of people choose to beach their boats at their campsites. When I was there, there were quite a few people with their kids fishing off the dock. Mostly they were catching crayfish. The beach is a great spot also to put in your kayak or stand-up paddleboard. On the other side of the dock from the main beach, there's a fairly rudimentary boat ramp, a dirt ramp with trailer parking nearby or more trailer parking up the hill near the park entrance. And as part of the recent improvements they've made to the park, picnic tables have been placed at the upper part of the beach. It's a very nice area. I'm tempted to call this a day use area, but it's important for me to note that Loveland Bay does not have a day use area like many other provincial parks do. The park amenities, all of them, including the beach, are reserved for campers only. If you prefer to hike, there are trails galore all over the area. My forte is gravel biking, and the large network of Forest Service roads is wonderful. It's ideal for gravel biking. You can ride for a few kilometers, or you can ride 100 kilometers, mostly on well-maintained logging roads. When we were there last, my wife and I did a loop down Lower Campbell Lake Road, and then up to Grey Lake, and up to Brewster Lake, and then up to Moen Lake, and then back down past Gosling Lake, back to Loveland Bay. Wonderful ride. That was a loop, about 40 kilometers. Now, as of 2025, the park still very much has a new park feel because of all the refurbishment and upgrades that were made just a few years ago. The sites are all well designed, all flat. Some of them you may have to go up or down to get in. but they're all well maintained. Each one has a nice picnic table, and they have fire rings. Be aware, later in the summer, there's usually, here in BC, there's usually a fire ban, but you can take a propane fire pit. Most of the sites are pretty decent as far as privacy is concerned, although it will take some time for the privacy screens to mature between some of the new sites. There are pit toilets scattered conveniently throughout the campground. These are all new facilities since the park upgrade. They're clean and very well maintained. On that note, I should say there are no showers, and there are no electric, water, or sewer hookups in the park. There's also no dump station, so you'll need to be more or less self-contained. There is a single manual hand pump at a well near the boat launch in the northern loop of the campground. So be aware, it's a pretty good hike from there down to the southern loop, especially if you're carrying a 5-gallon water jug. There are sites for dumping gray water around the campground. They don't want you to dump it out in your site. Loveland Bay is a bear-aware campground. It's black bear country. Now, I've ridden my bike extensively around the area and never seen any bear scat. But they are around, and they can be attracted to human food, which can be disastrous for the bears. Black bears won't usually bug people, but they can get into trouble, and this means that you're expected to keep your campsite bare for the bears. If it's food, if it smells like food, if it might smell like food, if it was used to prepare food, don't leave it out, especially if you're gone or sleeping. That means your camp stove, your garbage, your ice chest, whatever. Store your food and related items and anything else with a scent in your vehicle or hard-sided trailer. Finally, how to get here. It's not the easiest place to get to. Be aware that no matter which route you take, you are going to be driving on gravel Forest Service roads. So expect rough roads, expect washboarding, expect potholes and lots of dust when it's dry and lots of mud when it's raining. Expect logging trucks and other heavy equipment. These are industrial roads and people are working on them. Depending on the time of year and the time of day, you are more or less likely to run into logging crews. You may also run into active logging zones and have to wait before they'll let you pass through. Now, ordinarily, the best route to get to Loveland Bay from Campbell River is to take the Gold River Highway, that's Highway 28, west from town, and then take Brewster Lake Forest Service Road across John Hart Dam and straight to the park. Unfortunately, the dam is currently well, I guess it's a good thing for Campbell River, but the dam is undergoing seismic upgrades, so unfortunately for everyone else, it's closed to traffic until sometime in 2027. To find the alternate route, take the Island Highway, that's Highway 19, north from Campbell River, and look for the Loveland Bay detour sign at Duncan Bay Road north of the city. Take Duncan Bay Road south to Gordon Road. Take a left and follow Gordon. It will turn into Snowden Road briefly, and stay on that until you see the sign for Brewster Lake Forest Service Road. Take a right turn onto Brewster Lake, and the road will take you to the entrance of the park. It's about 15 to 20 kilometers. The park is open from mid-April to mid-October every year. As of summer 2025, the rate is $22 per night. If you want any more information, or if you want to make reservations, visit the BC Parks website, and I'll put a link below. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think.